Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me. We're going to start our exploration of the chakras within our body. In order to do this, I'm using one of my favorite books, Wheels of Life, one of my favorite books on the topic. This was written by Anodea Judith, The Classic Guide to the Chakra System. I highly recommend this book. I'm going to be referencing it often throughout our videos. Um, so if you haven't grabbed a copy yet, I really recommend it. You can find it anywhere that sells books. Um, so what I'll be doing is going through chapter by chapter with each of the chakras, and we will learn as we go. Okay. So starting with the introduction, there is a short um, meditation at the beginning of each of the chapters. Not this first one, but that's how I'll typically start the videos. I'm hoping to keep them around 20 minutes. And I'm hoping that you can really digest the information. These are my takeaways from the chapters. I'll be sharing outside quotes and ideas, but mostly bringing some takeaways from this amazing book. Starting on the very first page, and the wheel turns. From the great spiral galaxies, thousands of light years across, to the trillions of atoms swirling in a grain of sand, the universe is composed of spinning wheels of energy. Flowers, tree trunks, planets, and people. Each is made of tiny wheels, turning inside, riding upon the great wheel of the earth, spinning in its orbit through space. A fundamental building block of nature, the wheel is the circle of life flowing through all aspects of existence. There are some graphics I'm also going to be sharing from the book. These are the first ones. So the top of this, we're showing different pictures of lichen and rhizomes, just showing wheels and circles and geometry throughout nature. So beautiful. And here are some more examples. So chakras are organizing centers for reception, assimilation, and transmission of energies. They're core centers as part of our complicated mind-body system. They impact our behavior, consciously and subconsciously, as we see in the way that we create life strategies. We see them play out in our emotions and our creative processes. They are basically master programs governing everything we do. Um, the way we love, the way we live life, the way we learn things, the way we work, the way we play. The chakras are at the center of it all. They're the wheels at the very center. So we like to describe the body as a vehicle of consciousness when we're talking about the chakra system. And the chakras can be seen as the wheels that are carrying this vehicle. Like if you think about a car, they are the wheels that are carrying it. And they carry us through the good times and the bad. And I think it's good to study them and know more about them so that we can maintain them and have um, like a well working system, having the energy move easily and flowing through us through each of the chakra centers. So the more awareness we bring, the more in tune we are with these systems. Each chakra we study is a middle point between matter and consciousness. So as we study them, we're going to look at the physical and the intellectual sides of them. And we'll see how they affect us with social interactions and in more abstract realms like transversal consciousness. So after we are all done studying them, hopefully you will have a good understanding of the chakra system and how they're connected with everything you do and how they connect you as sort of a bridge between earth and heaven above. So they are a bridge or a system within us that's that connection point. Okay. So the chakras are just, we're going to look at them as a systematic way of understanding consciousness. Imagine if you went to a library and you're expecting things to be in order, and you got there and there are just books strewn about everywhere in all kind of piles, and there's no order, there's no Dewey Decimal or any other kind of system, and you are wanting to study a certain thing. It's going to be really challenging to find the books that you need to get the information that you need. There's books everywhere. It's going to be super hard. It's going to be inefficient. You'd be wasting a lot of time running around trying to find resources. And it's like that when we study consciousness. So we can find ourselves in kind of a similar place. There's so many different ways to access higher consciousness, or a deeper understanding of this mysterious thing that's higher than us. And we can end up running around. So the chakras, they give us this kind of framework. And they're just one way to organize consciousness. There's so many different ways, and none of them are right or wrong. They're just ways of understanding. So the chakras are a categorical approach to understanding ourselves through compartmentalized themes, or areas of life and in the body. This separation that we see, like the way that it's broken down, is actually an illusion, because the chakras are always working together all the time. But logically, we're able to separate them, and in that way, we can kind of pick it apart and study just one at a time. But it's important to remember that they're all always working together all the time. Okay. But for processing purposes, we'll separate them in these videos. Okay. So let's talk about just the pronunciation, the spelling. The spelling originally found in the ancient text is Chakra, and the C sound in Sanskrit says ch, like choo-choo. So chakra is the way that we will pronounce this word. The chakras first show up and became a part many years ago, and they became a part of yoga philosophy and the non-dual tantric tradition. Tantra or Tantra is commonly viewed in the West. If I say that word, you are probably, unless you know much about it, going to just think about sex. It's seen very sexually, and that is tragic, because there's so much more to Tantra than sex. That's just one branch of this really broad philosophy of Tantra. We're not going to get into specifics with that right now, but just know that that's where we first find it, is in the non-dual tantric tradition. And because of modern science and physiology, we now know and understand that the major chakras are located in the same place as major nerve ganglia coming out of the spine. So there's actually a graphic I want to share here on the book. These are the nerve ganglia that we're referencing, and in correspondence with each of the chakras. Just another example of spiritual thought being very old and trusted for a while, and science just now catching up. So we'll look at each one of those centers as we go through each of the chakras. So we do see this, there are 7 major chakras that we're going to be looking at. There's thousands of minor chakras or energy systems in the body, but we're just going to look at the 7 major ones, the most commonly known ones, at least in the West. And we see this idea of 7 in a lot of special ways. 7 centers kind of in other traditions, not just Hinduism or yoga. 7 levels of nature or the physical planes. I know in Christianity, there's 7 days of creation. You see that a lot in the Bible. 7 sacraments, 7 angels, 7 virtues, 7 deadly sins. And it's in other religions as well. You even think about like colors of the rainbow. There's 7 colors in the rainbow. There's 7 notes on the Western scale of music, 7 days of the week. It's been said that our lives run in cycles of 7 years. So from birth to age 7, and then childhood, and then adolescent through to adolescence at 14, and then from 14 to 21, and your first Saturn return at 28. So and it keeps going like these cycles of 7 years. It seems somewhere in all of this, there is something to do with 7 in store for people who are probing consciousness or on this quest in consciousness. So we're looking at 7 chakras. So yeah. So chakras are also called lotus flowers in India. And the reason lotus flowers are so sacred and special is because they grow out of the mud. So they root down through the mud in murky water. And the mud symbolizes a path of development from primal beginnings, rooting down to becoming this being that's blossoming and coming out and blooming forth in consciousness. And so each chakra has a lotus associated with it with a certain number of petals, which we'll get to in each video. We'll talk about a lot of different correspondences with each one. We'll talk about the symbols associated with each one, colors, sounds, feeling words or statements, and so much more, just so you can kind of know what to expect. Here's a graphic I want to share. Here's all 7, starting at the base, chakra 1, all the way to the crown at the top. These are the symbols. And yeah, so you could see them as kind of like gateways between different dimensions within the body, like a gateway between emotion and thought, a gateway between having a feeling and voicing that feeling, a gateway between fear and love, ultimately like a gateway between being human and being spirit at the same time. So they're helping us to reconcile this experience of being human. All of the chakras form the sushumna or central channel. There's a graphic here. So there is a central channel running through the body called the sushumna. It's right along the spine from the root chakra all the way to the crown. And you could see this as like a super highway in the body. And maybe there's a major city at each chakra. That's like a major city. Or another way the author describes it is like sacred chambers within the temple of your body. So both good ways to look at it. And in these sacred chambers, there's a vital force of consciousness that pools at different levels. So as you're traveling along the highway of the sushumna, the central column, there's also a lot of back roads, like we see in Chinese acupuncture, the meridians, or the nadis. There are thousands of other subtle pathways moving through the body, and there are special channels for energy to move, certain kinds of energy, and they're all passing through this vortex of the chakras. So yeah, you can see the Ida and Pingala. We'll talk about this more in chakra 2, the 2 currents moving up and down the spine. So yeah, we can look at them as like a vortex, but like in a wheel-like manner, spinning, attracting and repelling activity, or repeating patterns. And anything that chakra encounters on a particular vibrational level gets taken in, processed, and passed back out. Instead of like fluid moving through a vortex, you can think of it more of like a program. And maybe that's, childhood programming or past life programming, or, day-to-day programming that we receive from our society or culture. But programming moves through and it governs how we behave and react. You could think of your body as like a computer, and you have these programs. It's just like these channels, and the way that the energy moves or flows through the system, from survival programs to sexual programs to the way we think, the way we feel, it all passes through the chakras. Here's another graphic of all the pathways one man could draw, an ancient Hindu drawing. There's a lot going on in our bodies, and we're going to keep it focused on the 7 major chakras. So through involvement with the outside world, patterns in the chakras from these programs tend to perpetuate and repeat themselves, like the idea of karmic patterns forming through action or the law of positive effect. So people can get what feels like trapped or stuck. You hear people say, like, I'm stuck a lot, stuck in a job, stuck in a relationship, stuck in any kind of pattern. But more often than not, it's just stuck in a way of thinking, a way of being. So understanding more about this system is going to help us move past these feelings of being stuck and into deeper alignment and freedom. Each of the chakras is associated with an element. Chakra 1 is associated with the element of earth. Chakra 2, the element of water. Well, let me back up. I'm going to give you a quick synopsis of each one. So chakra 1, this is on page 25 of the book, by the way, is located at the base of the spine. It's associated with survival, and the element associated is earth. You might want to note these. Chakra 2, it's in the low abdomen. I call it the womb space. It's associated with emotions and sexuality, and the corresponding element, can you guess? Water. The first element we come into contact with as humans in our mother's wombs. Chakra 3 is in the solar plexus area right behind the navel, and it's associated with your personal power, your will, your self-esteem. And the element is fire. So I think of like a burning, combusting energy there. Chakra 4, love, right behind the sternum. The element is air. It's where we breathe. Chakra 5 is located in the throat region, and it's all about communication and creativity. And the element is sound. So we're getting a little more abstract, away from the gross into the subtle realms. Chakra 6 is Ajna, or the third eye, and it's located here right in the center of the brow. It's all about dreaming, intuition, sight, and the element is light. And the final one, the crown, Sahasrara, is at the top of the head. It represents the area of knowledge, of enlightenment, transcendent consciousness, and its element is thought. So those are the elements. We're going to get into each one as we dig a little deeper in the following videos. And the more we learn about the chakras, we'll be able to heal any or clear out any blockages, or calm down any overexcited chakras. So if one is blocked or closed, it's not able to receive the energy in that plane. Like if your heart chakra is closed, you're not able to give or receive love. If your throat chakra is closed, you might have difficulty communicating. So these are, it's not like a pass-fail kind of thing. We never really arrive as long as we're on Earth. I think we're in Earth school, so we're always learning. But rather, it's an indication of an area where we can explore. And I don't even like to use the term like do work or do more inner work. Like, let's approach it a little more playfully. Like, oh, isn't that interesting? And how can I love myself knowing this about myself, knowing that I have trouble communicating. How can I be more tender to this region of my body? Can I do throat massage? Can I do vocal exercises? Like that kind of thing. So as we go through and you start to notice or acknowledge things about yourself, just be kind um, and patient. This is a lifelong journey, and we go up and down over and over again. Every time we come back to them, we learn more and more. Um, just kind of wrapping up, when a chakra is in an excessive state, that means it's channeling all energy through that chakra, and it's almost like too much, like all situations through that region. So we want to be aware of that as well. When we're working through each one, we can pay really close attention and individually focus attention on that area of the body. So that's where we're going to have an advantage while we're studying. We can watch it in interactions day to day life according to that chakra and the state that we find it in with kindness. So by cleaning up, clearing passageways as we go through, activation can occur. And you might have heard of Kundalini activation or Kundalini energy. And this is an energy that you already have within you. It may be dormant, and everyone has it. It's at the base of the spine, is where it sleeps. And as we start to clear energy through the body, we awaken Kundalini and allow it to rise. So when awakened, it starts to move through the chakras or the points in the body along your journey. And Kundalini energy has been known to produce all kinds of experiences, but you may experience like a profound sense of bliss. You may also experience difficulty in facing challenges in day-to-day life once you're so aware. So take it slow, and it might not be all at once. It might be like small little moments of awakening, and just let your journey be what it is. I kind of wanted okay. On page 41, there's a table of correspondences with everything you would want to know about each one of the chakras. And we'll go through that when we go through each individual video as not to overwhelm you. But if you get the book, I mean, it's awesome. It's got everything you would want to know. The Sanskrit name, meaning, location, element, energy state, color, seed sound, vowel sound, planets, metals, foods, gemstone, everything. So check it out. A few final closing notes. We went a little over 20 minutes, so we'll see how this goes. I'm trying to be aware of the time. There are 7 major chakras in the subtle body. These are each gateways to dimensions of consciousness. The lower chakras are of equal importance to the higher chakras. So it's not like an order like that. They're all the same importance. They all work together. They're all constantly interplaying together. They're just separated intellectually and logically so that we can understand them with our minds. They have a lot of correspondences. So we're going to be looking at color, sounds, dimensions, subtle phenomenon as we go. And why are we studying it? Because the system can have a profound effect and immense value for your personal growth, for your healing, for your journey, wherever you're headed. And, they can be opened, they can be cleared out through various exercises we're going to look at, meditations, experiences, things of that nature. Page 48 and 49 has a manifesting current exercise, which I want to invite you to do. So we'll finish this video with sort of an exercise. So stand or sit comfortably, and you can close your eyes or keep them soft. With your spine straight and your feet planted firmly on the floor, your shoes off. Tune into the vertical axis of your body. Allow yourself to find a comfortable position of balance where the vertical axis is calm, centered, and effortless to maintain. Breathe slowly and deeply. Mentally reach out through the top of your head and allow yourself to experience the infinite vastness of the sky and space above you. Breathe into this vastness and imagine yourself drinking it in through the top of your head, pulling it down into your head, letting it cascade across your face, your ears, back of the head, and down across your shoulders and arms. Allow your head to fill again with this cosmic energy. And this time, letting it tumble into your neck, down into your chest, filling it as you breathe in and out. In and out. As the chest fills, let your belly release, soften, allowing this energy to fill your solar plexus, your abdomen, your genitals, and down into your buttocks, through your legs, into your feet, and out. Let it go deep into the earth. And return back to the top of the head. And as you begin the process again, you may choose to think of this energy in a more concrete form, as light or a particular color, column of bubbles or a stream of wind, or just movement. So keep repeating that process, filling up with that cosmic energy from the very top all the way down to the earth below your feet. And you may need to practice this several times before moving on to the next step. So that was the manifesting current. We'll move into the liberating current. When you're comfortable, you can begin working on an upward current in a similar manner. So we were going down and now we're going to move up. Through your feet and legs, imagine energy from the earth. You could give it a color like red or brown or green. It could be solid yet vibrant, coming up through your feet, up through your legs, and into your first chakra. Filling up there and flowing into your genitals, abdomen, and solar plexus. Filling again into your heart and chest, your neck, your shoulders, your face, your head, and out through the top of the head, releasing any tension that it encounters, outward and above. Work with this current until it also is flowing smoothly. So do that a few more times, pulling that earth energy up and out. And when you feel comfortable, you can work on both currents at the same time. So try running them both at one time, bringing that cosmic energy down and that earthing energy up. And if you'd like, you can visualize them moving up the spine, up the Sushumna channel, along the Ida and Pingala. A few more breaths here. Playing with these currents of energy in the body. And feel free to continue this exercise as long as you'd like right now, or to come back to it again at another time. We're going to go ahead and close out the video. Thank you so much for your time. So happy to be here with you through the interwebs. And thank you to the author of this book for bringing so much light to this subject. I'm happy to digest it and bring some of my flair to it. And I'm super excited to get into Chakra 1 with you. Namaste.